Hey everybody, welcome back. We're here for chapter 10 today. Something about this is not working. I don't know if it's because I'm blending in with the couch, like dark colors. Oh my gosh, I'm totally blending in here. I have dark colors, light colors. I think that's what it is. I blend in with the wall, my shirt with the couch. If I do this. Okay. Bring it back. Chapter 10, here we go. My throat tightens and I swallow. What are you going to do to me? She snarls like she's some kind of rabid ferret. If you don't get out of here right now, I'll string up every one of Yun's kids. I don't immediately move. I don't think I can. You hear me, girl? I make myself nod as I stiffly go to get up. Beans clings to me. No, Annie. It's okay, I mutter, pushing the rest of the way to stand. And digging my fingertips into my palms, I shuffle my feet across the dirt floor towards the woman. She snatches me as soon as I reach the doorway, slams shut and locks the metal shed, then drags me across the leaves and sticks of their yard. I stumble behind her, my blood hammering, desperate to scream, to fight, to do something, but trying so very hard to be brave. Otis sucks his teeth in. Now, Mary Jo, don't go and do anything too stupid. She cackles and gurgles up a loogie that she spits. I cringe, ugh. Mary Jo shoves me down into the dirt. Stay. Wildly, I look around. I could run. I could totally run. Two of the Mason boys take a step towards me like they can read my mind. But I notice that the skinny one, the one they were picking on, hangs back. Junior, they called him. But before I have a time to react to anything, Mary Jo crams me inside a large canvas sack, leaving my head and arms sticking out the top. She cinches it tight under my armpits and ties my hands behind my back. Then two of her boys hoist up the sack with me in it, and the next thing I know, I'm hanging from a tree limb. I squirm and kick at the sack. Let me down! Mary Jo crows with laughter, and Otis joins in. One of the boys pokes me with a stick. I say we ransom them, Otis says. Mary Jo gives that considerable thought. Kidnap and ransom? We're some real outlaws, you and me. Kidnap and ransom? My heart bangs a terrified beat that goes straight into full-on racing. Ma, Junior says, you know, kidnap and ransom. Mary Jo steps up and gets right in my face. What do you think of that, little girl? You think Yun's parents will pay money for you? I think of yesterday when Mom and Dad were in my bedroom. I had thrown that dress on the floor. I'm horrible. Mom spent money on that dress and I tossed it on the floor. My eyes blur with tears. Ransom? My parents don't have money to pay a ransom for me. One of the boys puffs out his bottom lip. Look, Ma, you made her cry. What is wrong with you all? I blurt out. We're just a bunch of kids. We're out having fun and camping. My voice cracks and I can't stop the tears that fall. I take a few shaky breaths and look at the Masons as they silently stare back at me. None of them mutter one single word, and while the quiet grows, my mind spirals. What are they going to do with me now? Why are they just watching me? Mary Jo snaps out of her staring as she pulls the map out of her dress pocket and shoves it in my face. What are the X's? I don't respond. That means you're supposed to save Beans. If these people find it instead, Beans is definitely leaving. She shoves the map in my face again. Speak, girl! My bottom lip wobbles. I can't tell them. I can't. Mary Jo sneers. I'd go get your friends. I'm sure one of them will talk. The wheezy one will. Not Finn. He'll have a full-on attack and those people won't know to give him his inhaler. The words tumble from my lips. It's just a meteor that fell, I promise. We thought we might find it, that's all. I'll tell you anything you want to know, just don't hurt us. She glares at me like she's trying to figure out if I'm telling the truth. And then she points at the two short boys. You two, come with me. We're gonna find the one that got away. Run, Rocky! I shriek so loudly that my vocal cords spasm. Please be near and hear me. Run! Mary Jo slaps her hand over my mouth and I catch my breath and gag. Her hand stinks. She sticks her jowly face right in mine, and my eyeballs zero in on her beady blue ones. A moment thumps by and I absolutely regret screaming for Rocky. Her mouth curls into a dirty grin. I know I'm done for. Without saying a word to me, she flops her hand out towards one of the boys. Bandana? Bandana? What is she going to do, blindfold me? In my peripheral vision, I see one of the brothers untie a purple bandana from his neck. Hey, that's mine! He hands it to her, and she proceeds to cram it into my mouth. I gag and gasp, and shake my head and poke at it with my tongue and gag some more. After being on the boy's sweaty skin, it tastes like rot, and I can't get it out of my mouth. With a chuckle, Mary Jo and two of the boys amble off through the woods, and Otis settles down into a rusted lawn chair. He crosses his booted feet, slides his hat down over his face, and folds his arms over his skinny stomach. Go round me up some pork rinds, he tells Junior. The boy looks at me for a second in his hesitant way, like he's trying to figure out what to do. I hold my breath, keeping my eyes locked on his, hoping he's about to let me go. But then, he turns and hurries to the trailer, and I let out a frustrated breath. A moment ticks by, and then Otis's snore begins vibrating through the air. I look over to the shed to see Beans, Finn, and Scarlet all peering out at me through the gap in the metal slats. I squirm and kick and strain at the ties around my wrist and get absolutely nowhere. Dipping my head, I run my mouth and the bandana back and forth across the canvas sack, and the friction tugs the bandana loose. I spit it out and spit some more, trying to clean my mouth. Ugh, nasty. Craning my neck, I look up at the tree limb. It's really not that thick. It should snap. I bounce my body. Once, twice, 3 times, and the limb barely bounces with me. Looking back over at the shed, I catch sight of my friend's fingers sticking out at every gap they can find, trying the slats for looseness, and an idea forms. See if you can dig out underneath, I whisper, but I know they can't hear me over Otis's snoring. See if you can dig out underneath, I say a little louder, but my friends still don't hear me. Hey! I call out, and all 3 of them look through the slats at the same time. Otis chokes on a snore. I freeze, and my pulse ping-pongs around the canvas sack. 1 second goes by, then another, and Otis bumps right back into sawing up the area. I swerve my gaze over to my friends again. Try to dig out underneath, I whisper, dramatically moving my lips so they can be read. I wait, my gaze glued to the bottom of the shed. Then I see it, slight movement, a stirring of dirt. They're digging! They're digging! I crane my neck as far left as I can towards the mason's shack, silently praying Junior doesn't come back out. Then something a little beyond the shack catches my attention. A shadow. Of movement in the trees. Oh no, Mary Jo's coming back. But it's Rocky who steps through the trees with his finger over his mouth, and I grin with pure joy and relief, and then grin even bigger when Edge and Hoppy follow right behind him. The boys both eye Otis as they tiptoe past the mason's shack towards me. When they're right in front, I whisper, Beans and Finn and Scarlet are in the shed. Edge and Rocky turn towards the shed to see my friend's fingers sticking out of the cracks in the metal slats. Luckily, they know enough to not make a sound. Or rather, Scarlet knows enough not to screech for help. Where's the key? Edge whispers to me. I don't know, but hurry. One of the boys is inside the shack, and Mary Jo and the other 2 went off looking for Rocky. Edge pulls a large hunting knife from a holder strapped to his hip. He wraps one arm around me with the canvas potato sack I'm contained in as he holds me and saws at the rope connecting me to the tree. I try very hard to ignore the fact that he's holding me. With a soft grunt and one last whack by Edge, my rope breaks free and Edge lowers me to the ground. He loosens the sack and rolls me over to cut the ties around my wrist. Otis chokes on another snore and the 3 of us jump into action. We sprint around him in the fire pit and start digging at the earth beneath the shed where my captive friends have already put a tiny dent. Hoppy gets into it too, clawing at the ground. Beans, Finn, and Scarlet feverishly work from their side, and little by little the ground begins to break free, but it's taking forever. I shoot a hurried glance over my shoulder to make sure Mary Jo isn't by some horrible chance standing right behind me, and I see all the junk strewn across the yard. Racing over, I find a scrap of metal, a rusted spade, and a hunk of wood. I run back to Rocky and Edge, hand out the junk, and we all keep right on plowing. Otis smacks his lips, and I glance over to see him shift positions before he goes right back on sleeping. Dirt kicks up as we claw and dig and scratch at the ground. I don't know how dogs do it. It's harder than it seems. Feels like we've been digging forever, but the hole still isn't through to the other side. Otis! I hear Mary Jo bellow in the distance, and nerves punch through me. Hurry, I say. A cough comes from behind, and I whirl around to see Junior standing behind us, holding the bag of pork rinds. I get ready to lunge and tackle him in defense, but then he holds a finger to his mouth. Shh. I freeze in place, carefully eyeing him as he walks over to a nearby tree, reaches behind it, and brings out a key. Mom keeps an extra one here, he whispers. A key? He's helping us? Holding it up, he smiles as he walks it towards us, and I don't think twice now as I hurry over, snatch it from his fingers, and quickly unlock the shed. My friends tumble out. Get our stuff, I whisper, motioning to the pile, and while they do, I carefully look all around Otis, but I don't see my pocket knife anywhere. Dad's gonna kill me. I hear Junior locking the shed, and I turn. Thank you, I quietly say. I can't believe you helped us. With a shy smile, he looks down at the ground, and I feel sorry that he has to live here with these mean people. Maybe after all this is over, I could try to be his friend, though I'm not sure how that will work. But surely my friends and I could figure something out. I hear leaves rustling, and I turn my head to see Mary Jo emerge from the trees. She takes one look at the scene and charges straight towards us. Get back here! That's the end of chapter 10, and so definitely some kind of crazy chase scene is about to unfold. Why would one of the Mason clan boys help them? I don't know. Hopefully we get to find out who this character is, and Edge is back with Hoppy, so we have a lot of fun characters that we get to explore next time. I'll see you there. Let's just try it again.